an election in Michigan in recent memory or in your lifetime that you can point to that you have confidence in and that the outcome was accurate and correct?
It's funny you say that. I don't want to give the reader the impression that I'm being biased because I was the winner. But like, for example, at our April convention we had last year.
Well, that's an internal Republican.
Internal.
I'm talking about
a
state or locally administered election. There's not one.
But I can't say there isn't one because I haven't thoroughly, that question I haven't investigated. I'm sure there are some.
But you haven't seen one yet of the ones you've looked at?
Of the ones, because I've only looked at the ones that are problematic.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't looked at ones where people say, hey, this ran really well.
Yeah.
So I can't say there isn't one because I don't know. Because the only ones I've looked at is where people say, hey, there's a problem. Can you take a look at this? And then I go to look at the one where it's a problem.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
You've been labeled over and over again, probably by people who you would consider critics or biased media, a conspiracy theorist.
Give me my tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
I think that's a derogatory term to people who question government narratives. That's what it is. It's think about it. Who do we call conspiracy theorists? People who question government narratives. And it's like, that's American. We're supposed to question our government. Like, where do we go to a point where questioning our government's narrative is a bad thing?
Yeah.
Like, the reason why we have freedom of the press is for you to go and get in our faces and ask us tough questions. Mm-hmm. That way people can make good decisions when they go to vote. Mm-hmm. So it's like now when you have citizens, now you see more citizen journalism. When you have citizens who are demonized or painted as crazy for talking about corruption in our government. It's like, yeah, we have freedom of speech. Our First Amendment rights, I'm sure as you know, we don't just have freedom of speech, freedom of the religion, peaceably assemble, freedom of the press, but what about the right to petition my government for a redress of grievances? Mm-hmm. So if I see something illegal, corrupt, or some conspiratorial thing occurring within my government, I shouldn't be maligned for asking those questions. And many of us who are called conspiracy theorists turn out to be right. You know, like with COVID, when it's like, well, it leaked from a Wuhan lab. That's what, oh no, that's conspiracy theories, come out to be true. You know, you think about all these things, I could go on and on and on. Like my criticisms of vaccines. I was actually having a conversation with someone yesterday about it. I know several people who have vaccine injured children. Mm-hmm. Who this is their own kids. They're not saying, oh, this is my neighbors, or I saw a video of somebody across the street. No, these are people sharing their own stories from their own children, who they say, my kid was totally fine. There's nothing wrong with my kid. Then my kid gets a vaccine, then my kid runs a fever, and now they're hitting their head on the wall. What happened to my bouncing baby? And when people come forward and share their stories, who am I to go, oh no, that's not true because the pharmaceutical company said it's false? I mean, come on. What happened to our skepticism? I mean, I think skepticism is healthy. It's just that it has to, it's not, you know, of course things have a point, but skepticism of our government is a good thing. It's what keeps them in check. Because you don't have any power over my life, but the government does. So we should scrutinize them. We gotta scrutinize our government. That's what that to me is just, that is like my mission for life. You know, I have two goals in life. One is the gospel of Jesus Christ that will always be a part of who I am. I will always, that's just me. But the other thing is getting more people to scrutinize their government. I don't care what your political affiliation is. Scrutinize your government. Don't let these people just do anything to us. And that's what's going on.